Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to Twisted Serenity. Thanks for clicking on my channel. So today I'm happy to say that I'm participating in a collaboration, a minis challenge hosted by Crafted by Corey. I will get into that a little bit later on in this video. Now, if you like what you see, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on that bell notification to be notified when I post my next video. So with that being said, sit back and relax or craft with me. Let's get started. Okay, you guys, so for our first one, I just have this wood plank from Dollar Tree. These are the larger ones because they do have smaller ones as well. And I'm just going to stain it using some Waverly wax. Now, once I have it stained, I have this wood circle, and I believe these came in a 6-pack from Walmart. And I'm going to use this paint that I got from Dollar Tree. It's like a peach color. And I'm going to mix it with a little bit of white because I want to kind of get like a skin tone. I didn't want it to be too white, too peachy. And I'm going to paint the whole wood circle. Now, once I have that painted, I'm going to make sure that it's completely dried. And I'm going to grab my pencil and I'm going to try to be an artiste here. I say an artiste because I'm far from an artist. But I'm going to try to do or draw a scarecrow face. So I just do the eyes, the nose, the mouth. And then once I have what I think is kind of like my face, I am going to go in with a mixture of paint and paint markers to color in everything. I use the paint markers to trace, my black paint marker to trace, and obviously my white paint marker to go in the eyes. But what I like to do is I do like to outline everything with the black because I feel like it makes it pop more and look a little bit better. Now I have a piece of scrap wood. This is kind of like the same thickness as like a jumbo craft stick. And I'm just going to try to trim a little bit of the top down because I'm going to go in with my nail filer. And I want it to have like a groove. I didn't want it to be, because we're going to try to do like a scarecrow hat. So I wanted to have like a little groove inside of it. So I am just going to sand that all down just to get that shape. Now I also drew a pickle looking shape. Honestly, it looks like a pickle looking at it now. I drew it on a craft stick, and then I'm just using my craft knife, and I'm going to cut that out as well, because this is going to be like the brim of the hat. And then I'm going to grab my nail filer, which I love these things so much, and I'm going to sand that up and clean it all up as well. Now, I paint both of them using, I think it's King's Gold that I use. So I always say this, everything's about the more details makes the projects look a little bit more better. So I just give a little bit more detail to the hat. I just take some black paint, do a little bit of outlining on the edge of it, do a little bit of distressing of antique wax, a little bit of white. And then I cut out 2 pieces of scrap burlap that I had, and just using my Elmer's glue, I just attached the 2 pieces to the hat, both pieces of the hat. Now, I have my hula skirt. This hula skirt wasn't from Dollar Tree. I think I got this at a yard sale, and I love it because it looks like raffia. Like, it really does look like raffia. And I just cut pieces down, and I'm going to stick at the top of the hat, and then I'm going to glue like the brim of the hat. I'm even saying that the right way. And I'm going to glue it right on there so we attach our full little scarecrow hat. Now we grab our little scarecrow face, and using the hula skirt, I'm going to glue pieces to give it hair. Now, I glue some very long pieces, some short pieces, but I wanted to make it look nice and full, so I do lift it up and glue some pieces underneath it as well. Like, once I lay the top part on, I do glue some pieces underneath as well. And then we're going to glue the hat to our little scarecrow head. Once I have it glued on, I do give my little scarecrow a haircut, because right now, the poor little boy or girl, whatever it is, cannot see. I think I'm funny, right? And then I glue our little face onto our palette. Make sure it's on the left side. And then I have a decal that I made. And remember, you guys, if you guys don't have a Cricut, you guys could write it, use stencils, use stickers. Dollar Tree is bringing out so many new things, which I love, love. And I just transfer on my decal right onto the side of the palette. Now the palette had 4 spots, and I just printed out Happy Fall, y'all, and it took up 3. I didn't want to leave the bottom one empty, so I have these stencils, which these are new to my Dollar Tree. I think they're new this year, and I just traced the pumpkin on there. I embellished the Scarecrow hat with a little paper sunflower, and I gave our Scarecrow a little gingham bow, and that was it for this one, you guys. I love how this came out. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, you guys, so our next one, I have a piece of scrap wood. It's busted up really, really bad, so I am going to just clean it up and sand it up a little bit. Now I'm going to go in with my favorite antique wax. I'm always using antique wax by Waverly, you guys. And I'm going to stain the whole entire thing. And then I'm going to grab my stencil, the self-adhesive stencils from Dollar Tree. And I actually really like these, you guys. So I grabbed a couple packs of them, of each one. And I'm just going to take it, and it fit almost perfectly. And I really did not mean for that to happen onto my scrap piece of wood. And remember, you guys, Dollar Tree does have wood, but sometimes you get more bang for your buck if you go to like Home Depot or something like that for the wood, you guys. Now, I'm going to just go in with different colors and just stencil everything in. And remember to stipple up and down. Don't rub it in, because you'll get less bleeding that way. And I did try to keep this very basic, just with some black, some orange. And the leaves, obviously, I did some different tone colors. Once I didn't let it completely dry, while it was still a little bit wet, I did peel off my stencil. And then I took my heat gun and I made sure it was completely dry. I'm so sad because my heat gun ended up breaking, and I've been using my blow dryer, but I feel like it doesn't throw off enough steam, you guys. I don't know. That's just me. And then I just sanded it up to smooth it all out. And I did sand up the edges of it with my nail filer just to distress it a little bit. I like the look that it gave. Now, you guys, I have a big thing of like wooden shaped blocks. If you guys are returning to my channel, you guys know I'm always talking about my blocks that I got from the thrift store. And I took out a piece, like you guys, if you guys don't have this piece, you guys could cut like a dowel or a paintbrush, whatever it is. And I just went in with some burnt umber, painted it, let it dry, and then I'm going to glue it onto the top of our wood piece. Then I'm going to take some pieces of our hula skirt, and I'm just going to wrap it around the top of our stem. And I topped this off with another gingham bow that matched our Scarecrow. And that was it for this one, you guys. Okay, you guys, like I said, today I'm participating in a minis challenge. It's an open playlist crafted by Corey. Everybody knows I love minis. So make sure you guys go down to the description box and click on that playlist. I'm guarantee you guys will find so much inspiration for your tier tray or just mini decor. If you're coming from the playlist and then watching my video, thank you so much, and I do appreciate you. And in the comments, let me know from whose channel you're coming from. Okay, you guys, so on to the next one that I have. I have this like wood circle thing. These are like in the garden section at Dollar Tree. I'm going to just cover the hole with some hot glue. I was too lazy to cover it with spackle or caulk. And I went in with my plastic chalk paint. I gave it 2 coats. And then I'm going to give it a heavy dry brushing of our antique wax. Now I took out 3 eggs from Easter time, and I painted them with some pumpkin and distressed the edges with some antique wax. I'm going to glue them to make them in the shape of a pumpkin. And using a piece of floral stem, I attached that to make it the stem of the pumpkin. And then I'm going to set our pumpkin to the side while I put on a decal that I made with my Cricut onto our little wood round. Or our little round pieces, not wood, our little round. Then I'm going to take our pumpkin and I'm going to add some leaves to it. And I made like a little bow using some of that hula skirt, raffia slash type thing. And I glue our pumpkin into the middle. And that is it for this one, you guys. How simple. Alright, another easy one for you guys. I have this little pumpkin from Dollar General about 2 years ago. I got a bunch of them for 25 cents. I removed that thing full and I removed like the raffia. I sanded it all down and cleaned it up. Now I grab a piece of scrapbook paper and I'm going to trace our pumpkin out. And then I go in with some Elmer's purple like disappearing glue. I love, love, love this stuff. And then I glue on our scrapbook paper. I always leave like a little bit of overhang because I'm going to go in with my nail filer and I'm going to sand it down. and I don't like to like rip off the paper like off of like the shape that I traced it out of. I don't know if that makes sense, but I sand it up and clean it all up. Now, once I have it all cleaned up, I have these wooden words. These are all from these are from Dollar Tree, of course, and I stain it with some Waverly wax, and I go around the edge of our pumpkin with the Waverly wax as well. Then I take our Hello Fall stain word and I glue it right onto our pumpkin, and then I have a twine bow that I made, and I glue it onto our pumpkin, and then I just take a lighter to burn like the little hairs that it has. And that is it for this one, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, you guys, I have this roll of burlap, and this is from Walmart, you guys. I'm telling you, look at other stores. Just because it's Dollar Tree, you get more bang for your buck at other stores. I got this on clearance for 75 cents. I cut a strip out, and I have a piece of muslin as well. They're both the same size. I'm going to lay the muslin on the burlap, and using some liquid stitch, I'm going to attach the muslin to our piece of our burlap. Now, once I have it attached and it's all dried up, I'm going to fold it up, and then I'm going to use my hot glue, and I'm going to glue down the edges. So basically we're making like a little sack. I wanted the muslin to be on the inside and the burlap to be on the outside, so I'm going to flip it inside out. Now I have another piece of muslin. It's frayed on the edges, and I'm taking our liquid stitch and I'm going to glue that right into about the middle of our burlap. You don't want to glue it up too high because I am going to fold it down and I do not want it to be covered. So I made a stencil with my Cricut, and I just put it on to our little piece of muslin, and using some black paint, stippling up and down, I painted in our stencil. Now I didn't give each like letter full coverage because I did want it to look kind of distressed. I peel off our stencil, and now this is regular vinyl, you guys. It wasn't stencil like vinyl, and it worked pretty good. Like as you guys can see, it worked fine for me. And I just weed out the letters. Now I'm going to start to fold it down, and I want that muslin to like show, so I fold it down about twice. Okay, you guys, so now I have these buttons that I got from Walmart on clearance, and I only found one pack, which I was so sad because they're so cute. And I take out the leaf, and of course it's a button, so I have to remove that part in the back. And I'm just going to glue the leaf that I took out right onto where it says fall leaves onto our muslin. Now I want a little burlap sack to look full, so I just took some paper towels and I stuffed it in there. And then I'm going to take our hula skirt or raffia, whatever you guys have, and I'm just going to shove some right onto the top of it. And I do cut some down. I do give it like a little trim to make it look all cleaned up. Then I have leaves that I have like from leftover florals that I had, and that's why I save like everything, you guys. I don't throw like any like stems or anything like that away because it comes in handy for projects like this. I stick the leaves in there, and that is it for this one, you guys. I love how this came out. Okay, on to our next one, you guys. I have like this little calendar mason jar shape. I'm gonna take out the blocks. We don't need those for these projects. Save them for other projects, you guys. And using my heat gun and spatula, I'm just going to remove that shape. We are like that little wood box shape, but we are going to use that for this project. And we are going to take a piece of scrapbook paper and trace out our mason jar, and we are going to glue it right onto our mason jar. Like I said, I always cut it a little bit bigger just to leave like a little bit of overhang. And I'm going to go in with my finger sander, my nail filer, and just clean it all up. Now, once I have it cleaned all up, we are going to grab our little box that we had from the beginning that was attached to it. And we clean that all up, and then we are going to paint it using some Waverly chalk paint in the color plaster. And then we are going to go over it, distress it really heavy with some antique wax. Now, Dollar Tree sells like those little mini hay bales, but at that time that I was doing this project, I didn't have any, so I decided to create my own. I took some tumbling tower blocks and I glued one on top of another. And then I have like these like hay pieces, and just using some hot glue, I just started to glue all the hay pieces all over it. I kind of like this in a way because you can make them as small or as big as you need to. And once I had this done, I'm going to try to create like a little scene inside the box of the mason jar. And I love to create little mini scenes in projects. So I also have some wooden beads that I'm going to paint with some pumpkin Waverly chalk paint. And I put stems inside them just with just some shish kebab sticks. I cut stems to put inside them. And it's time to put it all together. So I take our little wooden box and I glue it back onto our mason jar in the same exact spot that it was. And then I have this little wagon, and I got this from Michael's, and it was like $1, give or take. I've been having it for such a long time. I glue it onto the top of our box, and then I take some of the mini hay bales that I created, and I put the larger one inside the box, and then I take the smaller one, and I'm going to glue it inside the hay bale. And then I'm going to take the pumpkins that I created and just put some pumpkins on the hay bale inside the box. And I'm going to just stick some pumpkins on top of the little, like inside of the little wagon. So our little scene was done, and I felt like it's a mason jar, and you need to tell that it's a mason jar, so it needed some embellishment. So I have some burlap scraps that I have, and I just cut them down and I glue them to the top of our mason jar. And then I have like a little paper sunflower, and I put that on top of the mason jar as well. And that was it for this one, you guys. Okay, you guys, I love the way that this next one came out. I had this little house from Dollar General, and I'm going to just remove the top, that little metal piece. I think that's like a card holder or something like that. But I got a bunch of these houses like last year when they were on clearance. For pieces like this, I never pay full price, you guys. Wait for them to go on clearance and grab a bunch if you can. So I clean up the little house, and I'm going to take some mini craft sticks, and I'm just going to measure them along the width of the house. As I'm going up, they're all going to be like the same size until I get to like the arch of the house. I do just measure them down, and I just try to fit them as best as I could in the arch of the house. So I do cut them at a little bit of a slant. Once my pieces are all cut down, I start to glue them onto our onto our little house. I do glue the top first so I can make sure it fits all in there perfectly. Now, some of the pieces were overhanging, so I just flipped the house upside down, and I just went in with my craft knife, and I just cleaned up all the pieces that were hanging out. And then I just take my nail filer, and I just sand around it so I can make sure everything's all cleaned up and there's no like splinter pieces. I'm not even sure what's the word I'm looking for, but sticking out. So once I had the house all cleaned up and finished up what I wanted, I took some some plaster by Waverly chalk paint, and I painted the front of the house, and then I went in with antique wax and I painted the roof of the house. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm jumping the gun. Before I painted the roof of the house, I wanted it to like really look shiplap, even though I went in with the craft sticks. So I'm going to just go in with a mixture of antique wax and some paint marker as well. And I'm going to do some shiplap lines right where the craft sticks meet. And if I feel like it got a little too dark, I just went over again with my plaster just to soften up the look and make it look a little bit lighter. But I did want that shiplap look. Now I take a medium-sized craft stick, and I'm just going to cut a piece down, actually 2 pieces down, the same size. And I stain them using Waverly wax. Then I'm going to attach them to the front of our house, and then using my Cricut, I printed out the word autumn vibes, and I'm going to transfer the word autumn onto one of the craft sticks and the vibes onto the other craft stick. So I have these little like popped up stickers, and they have like a teardrop shape, and then some of them have a round shape. I'm going to take 4 of the round shape, and I'm just going to paint them with my paint marker. And then I'm going to glue 2 on each board of the craft sticks. You're going to see as I'm doing now. One on one side and one on one in the front of the word and one on the end of the word. I want these to look like just some text. I always feel like the more little details makes the project look more high-end. To give it a little bit of embellishment on the top of our house, to make it look kind of like, if it's like a wreath type thing, I take my stencil and my leaf stencil from Dollar Tree and I just paint it into the top of the house. Now, you could just stop here, but I wanted to do something a little bit more, so I have like this, I don't know if it's vase filler, potpourri, whatever it is, but they have mini pumpkins in it, and these are from Dollar Tree. So I just take it with my craft knife, and I cut them right in half, and they are like different sizes, so I cut them right in half, and then I'm going to glue them onto the front of the bottom of our house, and then I take shish kebab sticks as the stems, and I just pop stems right in them, and that is it for this one, you guys. I love how this came out. It's so, so, so beautiful. I want to thank you guys for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you're coming from the playlist and you like what you see, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And turn on that bell notification to be notified when I post my next video. Make sure you guys check out the playlist that will be in my description box. I appreciate you guys all so much. And I love you all. Thank you for all the support. And as I always say, this world could throw you twists and turns, but always make good choices. To the next one, you guys.